phasers. Thank you, Mr. President, for giving me encouragement in your speech, asking for innovators to come on out and make this country great again. That's phasers. We want it on a safety device for RVs, semis, government jobs, government contracts. Phasers. Safety blinker. That's the Blue Bandit. Had a Mikuni carburetor. The motor was stroke. Dragster engine and a customized frame. Show frame, show paint, raked, model chroming. That's my 56 Chevy, my second car. My first car I got when I was 12 and a half years old. My mom said that if I got a ticket, that I had to give it up. Well, I drove until I was 16. That's my Rivy, candy burgundy, hydraulic, approved by Highway Patrol. It was candy burgundy, and it had a TV. The motor was fully redone with a show engine, as far as chroming and double polish alternators, one to run one battery that ran the system. The hydraulics were done like in the 50s, heavy duty cylinders that pumped real slow, but was gave a ride better than my brand new Cadillac that I had in 1975 out of the showroom. I had that in this car, and I could compare the rides. As nice. I had also a 41 Cadillac that rode better than all of them. That's my 37 Buick. I didn't have to do much to it except put the A-bar and fogs. It was and the sun visor. It was already stocked. Interior was just as cherry as the outside. That's my 1930 Chrysler. Well, me and my brother painted it, bought the tires, re-chromed everything, and the motor was redone. That's my cousin's car. My brother painted that. Over 500 vehicles. It won first paint. Candy red with pearl white. That's the colors of my 56 before I put the silver metal flake. That car was Bob and Son interior, and the dashboard was candy red and pearl white. Everything was stock color painted, except within candies. My cousin put rims on it, of course. You know, should have used and he had his originals. That's my 37 with the Blue Bandit. And that's the Black Beauty. Phaser blinker at yahoo.com. Phaser blinker at yahoo.com. There I am on the Blue Bandit. All these toys that I had were when I was young, about 40, 30 something years now. And there I am in the Black Beauty. I had some stories to tell you about all these. But right now I just wanted to explain some of these cars, and here is one of the reasons why. Because that is phasers. I did that light, and that light was given to me by God like a blessing when I couldn't deal with having any other ordinary car after having all that. I had gotten this car here and I was going to put it on there. My brother at the time and us were trying to get a future look, and everybody did whale tails, flared fenders first of all, and then whale tails, and then ground effects. Well, in between there was the third eye, and the third eye was the one that they put that wasn't considered mandatory, but then they made it mandatory. Well, I went further and I made those strips into the light, and I never got them on the car because I was afraid that they would take it from me because I knew it was bigger than light itself. I had to protect it. So I did my homework, and then I had to do my research in how to make it for every car, and then into it was a safety device, into a blinker, into a streamline, and going all the ways to for the safety aspect for trucks, RVs. And this is what I ended up with. I started thinking with the government jobs, like for instance U.S. Postal Service. Fire department has plenty of lighting, but I can add. Semis don't. Semis need lighting. And as you can see, I have different colors that would be considered legal. And I have I have a semi here, which people spend a lot of money for a semi, but there's no protection of lighting, fog, rain, and they're always using their vehicles, and they spend a lot of money on them. And I thought, and then we got the commercial. Then I thought boats and aircraft, but aircraft I have to go through I have to speak to people, because they're flying. I'm not sure about that now. Okay, that's just experimental stages. Then they would look beautiful. That boat right there is the kind of boat that I like to see in the waters. I don't see anything aerodynamically wrong with having a light on it there, and definitely would be a sweet. There's no boat lights out there that look streamlined, and there's no lights out there that have protection, like even like that older boat. It would look just sweet. Well, this whole idea is something I've been working on for years, and also I got disappointed a lot of different times, and I've had my own personal problems, and I'm brought up with my Uncle Tor, in the garage. I remember him having a Lay's and having some type of compressors, to do bearings, and all the tools you need. I remember him working on a Studebaker and him owning a Corvette. I remember the Studebaker having buttons for drive and reverse, to shift gears. I remember him squeezing my cheeks and calling them manzanas, which means apples, because they're so rosy red. My mom was a good mom and had a good dad, stepfather who helped my mother, and I feel he was so special as a stepfather, as well as my mother. She was the most specialist. You know, I'd grown up with good parents. Have nothing to say about them except they're loving. We didn't have very much, but they taught me well. And that was all that was important. I loved them till, and they're the most important things to me in my life. My Uncle Tor used to have the garage in the back of our house for a lot of years, and I grew up around cars. So did my brother Hector. My brother Hector took lead, so I give my you know, it was named after Tor, so brother Heck, you know, I call him Heck because his name's Hector, but it's I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. He was special, and I mean that, you know, as in a way where he showed me how to build cars, and I remember when he wanted to learn how to paint, and we'd go behind some of the big names and look to see what kind of paint they were using, you know, what kind of toners. I remember they were using mobile paint, and now it's against the law because it has lead in it, and it had a brilliance to it. And my brother buying a large paste of candy red. That's why we made these candy reds, you know, famous. Again, we ran into Bill Himes. I used to be in Bill Himes' shop. George Barris used to do all the Hollywood cars. He's a friend of Bill Himes. And I'm a little kid, but because of what I used to build, for instance, this car here is one of the first cars, you know, after having grown up out, you know, and I was young, restoring that car, and I was allowed to go into Bill Himes' shop and hang out, and I've seen him do work. He was the best lead man, and he was in the 50s, just like that Riviera when the hydraulics were built. They were done like 50s, where they were done to go up and down, not to jump around or anything. And they had a smooth ride, and they were safe. And that's the way that Riviera was built. People didn't even realize it was had hydraulics on it because the way it rolled so smooth. Then I would tell them I would like some hydraulics on it, and they said no. And I said, but I don't want to ruin the ride. And then when I would park, I'd drop it. They'd blow their mind because they were driving in a super smooth car. Anyway, I was proud of that. Besides, it was like a spaceship with a TV in it, and the way it was built inside. Anyway, I have to give credit to my Uncle Tor and my brother Hector and the people that I was around for who I am about cars. And the way I was growing up, I'm an American, and I was growing up with the idea that everything should be well done. And we were succeeding, and we're looking at in quality, and we're looking at all the car builders, and we know that we wanted to add to their abilities. Our colors, they started making them factory after, and things that we pursued, they would follow. Like this lighting here, I'm sure they're gonna try to follow it. I just want them to give me something, you know, because I showed this light, and I was kind of disappointed because they took the light and made it on the mirror, and they never shared nothing with me, even though I was there working with them. And they come up with that, and even though it was different than my lighting, I never saw nothing from them except pushing me out of the place, you know, like, you know, if I was a disease or something. And, you know, greed I saw, you know, but there's a flip side to everything. You know, we're America, and, you know, I want to make an American product. I want to put, you know, I'm at the age now, I want people to go to work in this product and use materials from other people that work. That would be nice, but most of all, I like to leave something behind, you know, that's something I did. Anyway, and my family, you know, and people that were around me, like the legends, you know, like, for instance, my hero is which night host Jay Leno, warehouse of beautiful automobiles. I can't even compare my automobiles to his, except that I built them as a kid, and I did it with no money to speak of. Anyway, I have a speech for the president because he gave me encouragement to be able to do it again. So here it goes. Hold on a second. Okay. Okay, here we go. Greetings. Greetings to you, Mr. President, and your family. I would like to introduce myself to you as JR, a little man who was brought up knowing the U.S. as number one, when the U.S. was well known for their schools, hospitals, and their manufacturer companies steal their qualities. Most of all, for their values, their ethics, and their morals. We're number one. They were number one. I know that our qualities and our morals were number one. I am addressing you for the very reason that I needed your shield, your protection, due to the fact that I remember hearing one of your motivation speeches for the innovators. That's my ad. Okay. You were inviting them to come out and make the U.S. great again. And I come from a long line of car people, backyard mechanics who were antique car builders, lowrider builders, and muscle car builders, and motorcycle builders. This is a future-looking device, Streamline, which is a safety device, and I hope I can add that on with some of the vehicles that I'm going to be proud to see that we take back our industry. And I hope to, Mr. President, that you hear my voice